Hello again there, fellow breathers. It is I, once again, Monster Breath, and today we're going to have another episode of TFE, Thoughts, Feelings and Emotions. Today we'll be talking about the future of the Nintendo 3DS. So with the Switch coming out this week, a lot can be discussed about the future of the 3DS, and whether or not it will continue to be supported or will die off a cruel, awful death. Just to give a bit of background to my own thoughts on the 3DS currently and its life. As you can see right here, I have one. I have a new Nintendo 3DS. I think it's the third 3DS that I've bought. First had the original blue aqua one. Then I'm pretty sure I had an XL then. And then I got the new 3DS XL with better head tracking and more power, etc, etc. So to preface all of this, I am a fan of the 3DS and I think it's an excellent console. The basis of today's conversation is really about whether or not Nintendo can support both the Switch and the 3DS at the same time. It's been interesting with the life of the Wii U, and if the Wii U was successful, there'd be zero conversation here, but as we all know, it wasn't. So let's break it down. With the 3DS, the large part of why it was unsuccessful is because of the lack of third-party support. Anyone who owns a 3DS knows that's exactly the case. And it's a complete turnaround of the Wii, which constantly had third-party support. Most of that, though, was trash, with carnival games and party mini-games and nothing really worth anybody's time or money. In saying that, in the whole handheld market, Nintendo have used the 3DS in the best way and treated it like a proper console, whereas on the other hand you have somewhere like Sony who don't treat their Vita like a proper console at all, rather than like a little inbred cousin or something like that. Nintendo fully support every console that they've had, and they've got a long history of supporting both a home console and a handheld console at the same time, with up until recently really large success. With the Wii U, however, this changed, and with the lack of third-party support, they struggled to get a constant library of games coming out for the Wii U while supporting constantly the 3DS at the same time. This is something which obviously they can't afford to repeat, because really they're one bad console away from just being a software developer and not having hardware anymore, which isn't the worst thing that could happen, but everybody loves a new console. They're one of the few companies that actually make money on releasing new consoles, so it's not as if it makes sense for them just to be a software developer. So with their limited number of first-party developers, and if they have to concentrate on both the 3DS and the Switch, they could struggle. And for the Switch to be successful, it needs a good library of games and also needs decent third-party support. And this only comes obviously if the player base is high, which is what was lacking with the Wii U. A lot of that was marketing, sure, but a lot of it was also the fact that it ends up being this circle of negativity. Without third-party support, the install base was low, as there were very few games to actually play on it. The ones that were there were excellent, but the ones that weren't there, well, you could feel them. There was a gap between each new release, especially in the later years of the Wii U lifecycle. So without this third-party support, the player base is low, and to get third-party support, the player base needs to be higher. So they influence each other directly, and that's obviously really hard, because you need a third influence, and that is first-party support. Now, with Nintendo's first-party support being solid on the 3DS and at the beginning of the Wii U lifecycle, Nintendo really needed third-party support for the Wii U. They didn't get it. And for third-party support, the install base needed to be there. They didn't have it. If the limited number of first-party software developers for Nintendo looked solely on the Switch and forgot about the 3DS, they could have a constant and updated library all the time, which obviously grows the player base. When the player base is growing, then third-party support is going to be much more likely, especially since the Switch is somewhat underpowered to the current consoles out there, and it would be a little harder just to port directly over from your Xbox Ones and your PS4s. So what I want from Nintendo, keeping in mind that I loved my 3DS, is to forget about the 3DS, focus solely on the Switch, make sure that is a success, because that's the lifeblood of the company in the foreseeable future. If they concentrate on the 3DS, get a good library of games, third-party support will come provided the install base and the sales are excellent, which seems to be the case so far. Again, very early days, it hasn't even been released yet, but the buzz is high and the pre-orders are going fast. So, Nintendo, please forget about the 3DS. Focus on the Switch, especially the nature of the Switch being a portable as well. Effectively, you're supporting two handhelds at once. I know it's still a home console and to be treated as such. You can take it with you as well. Come on, Nintendo. Cut the apron strings. Let go of the 3DS. It's been fun, buddy. It's time to leave. So, what are your thoughts on the future of the 3DS? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited for the Switch? Let me know what you're looking forward to the most. Let's be honest, it's Zelda. I will be getting a Switch on launch. I might even go to the midnight launch, but I'll see how that goes. Being in Australia, it'd be one of the first because our time zone's very favourable for us. So be sure to stick on this channel for an unboxing and eventual review of the Switch itself and Zelda Breath of the Wild, and some accessories that I might be getting with it at the same time. Again, thanks for watching, and Monster Breath is out.